Nonz in high school. Okay, so this is my favorite subject because what this was this is me literally wearing multiple purple outfits, multiple outfits that are containing brown and literally silver, black and white stripes, etc. Me yelling at my mom and then going outside dancing, listening to music like Shady Nate, I'm back jig styling, literally feeling every single, piece of the beat like the bar, OU. And this is when I had the most creative writing process and the biggest flow. And this this shit right here literally caused the beginning of Imagashi all the way into the Seabox arc, all the way until Boomer loses like Android fucking 18. I'm gonna start off when Ink summons his Ink plane, and I was literally skipping arcs, skipping episodes, all the way into the point where wherever I saw it in One Piece and wherever I wanted to draw it, literally just went hand in hand that day. And while the plain examples as Damo, Damo based off Dominic Moody in real life, his character design was based off Ozbuff and Fairy Tail. And how I know is because literally Damo used to have dreadlocks, and Damo, currently has dreadlocks, and Ozbuff had dreadlocks in the past. So what happened was I was creating fight after fight. Literally, I was so literally infatuated with how I used to draw back in high school that literally I drew the big out arc twice when I was a junior, and part of it when I was a sophomore. And what ended up happening was I ended up creating all the mainstream fights. All the mainstream fights had happened at American High. I don't want to spoil it because those are four major fights and four major character arcs. So I would put it like this: since I do structure my shit so well, literally skip ahead 2 minutes if you don't want to be spoiled. Spoiler alert. Okay, so here's how literally this is a spoiler alert. Click off the video right now if you don't want to see it. What happens in the original X Games arc is a spider comes through literally and blocks off Iroku Furuyaka's wedding, and Iroku Furuyaka E40 was about to marry Beyonce based off Beyonce and based off the mummified girl and Soul Eater from the Courtney fight you saw. So what ended up happening was literally Boomer fights Kabaya, literally K-Maru, fights Tito, and Better fights Nick, all in the same arc, and then they have to go to Imagashi OP3 to who their rooms. And so I drew everything, absolutely everything, all the way down to literally where Better has a skeleton costume. And Yumi Nedzi is nowhere in sight. Yumi Nedzi is in my head, but there was no way to execute it back in high school. Love is in the air by Yaki C. That's just one of my classic intros. I've actually seen Iroku Furuyaka fight in the manga. It's pretty figure out. What he does is he fights Delulu on Imagashi. So what ends up happening literally there on, when I was in high school, literally was my junior and senior year, I was really dedicated. So what I would do is I would use character designs like Grim Tier and Jaffia based off Juvery, and I was scared to say Juvery because it's already a flip off fucking Juvia and Sasori, and so he had the same fucking hair. So what happens is, Juvery fights Grim Tier, literally, and they have an underwater battle. It's freaking insane. Then it goes down to literally the main topic of this video, Jackson, all the way to Jackson, all the way to Hustlon. What was even crazy is I thought about Nonz times 2, literally, and how you had literally the ending of literally the Team Fusion. Now, what you need to know is character designs like, Ditto and Giovanni specifically came from literally when I used to cosplay, back at conventions like Fan Man Level Up. Being Level Up kind of have a more trustworthy relationship, if you ask me personally, but somebody still tried to film me on the dance floor, and that's not cool, Yugimoto. And Giovanni literally was a symbolism that I changed, and that I got a whole lot of girls prior to my past, and that literally the half red and half black wig was literally a wig I wore at Level Up Expo. But even though it's based on my brother, what I did was I layered it into multiple layers. The Batman Beyond, the face arc between my brother and Alberto. What I did literally, how I had to stop sleazeballing, how I had to stop gorillaing in order to get a girl's consent like a gentleman on the date. And I refer to it as Dio Brando. And Ditto is based off Eminem. That's also based off a classical singer, the actual singer Ditto, but that's a story for another time. Why I'm intertwined with classical music literally will blow your mind. So what ends up happening, with Nonz in high school is I get so into it that, I start even use, colored pencils all the way to a point where I get to Chakya's design. Chakya's design is based off, Tayuya from Naruto and CC from Kogiyasu. What I did was I gave her the one eye like Tien Shinhan. Literally, and what her power does is she's an advanced style of martial arts with taijutsu. You know how Taiko and Valentine's Day stuff, she was using the little ghost boxers. Her shit comes out and they point fingers at you like Neji. And then it got on all the way to Lily Goto, Lily, the guy who's based off Future Gohan and Shadow the Hedgehog, all the way to a point where I was thinking about Kai Sly Haku.